Hello guys, Dyutam Joy from Dauntless Dyutams here. Welcome to Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 Part 4. We are playing this game in Master of Deduction difficulty. Follow us in Facebook and Twitter. Link is given below. In last part, we came to know that Sherlock's mother was involved in some crime and there was a police investigation before her death. Sherlock is now authorized crime scene consultant certified by Cordona Police. In this part, we will go to Stonewood Manor for further clues in order to solve the quest A Mother's Love. So without much delay, let's start investigation as Sherlock Holmes. Let's begin. A bandit lair has been marked on your map. Press detail to open the how to play screen. I need to know the details. Okay, the skeleton. The face of the skeleton indicates there is a bandit lair. Okay. So arresting all enemies in each layer unlocks specific challenges. Alright, you can spend your hard-fought money to buy unique costumes from traders in the city. Okay, let me see the map. Oh, it's near. Okay guys, before going to Stonewood Manor, let's visit there. So, bandit lair number 1. We have 5 bandit lairs in each side of the map. This is the first one. Let's do it, guys.
I'm coming for you.
No more crime for you until
Number
next month.
1.
Take this! I couldn't miss the party.
The snuff's ready.
I'm coming. I'm coming for you. Coming. I'm coming for you. I couldn't miss the party. I will end you.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Take a rest, my friend.
Oh my god.
I'm coming for you.
No more crime for you until next month. Too simple.
The snuff's ready.
I'm coming for you.
Take a rest, my friend.
I am invincible.
Oh my god.
Just die.
Oh my.
It won't work this way.
I couldn't miss the party.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Not that easy. I'm coming for you.
I thought we were against murder.
I'm sorry, John.
Time to knock this guy out.
I couldn't miss the party. I couldn't miss the party. I will end you. sleeping.
No more.
The snuff's ready.
Too simple.
Oh my god. There are more.
Eat lead. Dodge this. You're dead.
Can I?
I couldn't miss the party. I couldn't miss the party. Dodge this!
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
Hey, you could have kept him alive.
Two enemies killed. So that's my report card for Bandit Lair in Scaladio.
Can I ask you a question?
That's a question I can answer.
Thank you. People say that there is an abandoned manor. Road between Vernet Street and Silent Way. Vernet Street and Silent Way. There it is. Silent Way. I think this is the house. Yes, Stonewood Manor. Ah, John. Good of you. You are waiting here.
Hey, Sherry, there's post here, and it seems as if the letter was delivered recently.
My brother Mycroft's letter. Sherlock. I hope this letter does not reach you, for it would mean you have committed to your absurd flight of fancy. The past is the past. To expend any more time and energy retreating one step is, at best, childish indulgence, and at worst, pathological weakness. Consumption is an ugly end, and you were better off for it, witnessing it, despite all your protestations. One presumes by now you have visited our mother's final resting place. I trusted this has satisfied your impetuous impulses and frees you to return to London at once. It is time to turn your back on what was and help to shape what would be. The nation needs you. Mycroft. Why
After
are
reading
you-
that, I am even less eager to return home than before. Let's investigate our manor.
Same
That's the
here, John.
Mycroft I know. Predictable.
There she is. Our old manor. It's smaller than I remember.
You were a couple of feet shorter back then, Sherry. Or maybe it's bigger on the inside.
I did not expect these to still be here. It was enjoyable to practice using real handcuffs to make an arrest.
Hey, that's Wooden Joe. He was always the best at playing criminals.
And this must be the reason our suspect was apprehended. Wood and glass, oh, very precious. An irreplaceable tool for catching a thief.
Partner in catching a crime. John's diary. Memories. So nice to bump into an old friend, Wooden Joe. He was glad to see Sherry and me. I think he is a man of few words, to be honest. His life here since we left wasn't particularly interesting. Still, Sherry was cheered by the recollection of the good old days, refining our methods of arresting people. Joe was the best at playing criminals, especially thieves, and I was always amazed by his patience. That said, given we used real handcuffs, I suppose he had no choice.
Look at the ash all over the door. I don't recall hearing of a fire.
We don't have to stay here. You can afford another night or two at the hotel.
It's stuck.
Oh well, let's just head back. They probably haven't even stripped our room yet.
Come on. Must be locked.
Move aside. Let me have a go. Seems fine to me, Sherry. This barrier, perhaps it's mental, not physical.
Or perhaps the rest of us are simply constrained by reality, John. I wonder if there's a key secreted somewhere in the garden.
Try to recall that memory about the policeman, Sherry. Concentrate.
Okay, remembering my past. John suggested I try to remember the full story about the policeman in front of our manor.
The policeman brought us both home, John. That's why he was here.
I'm pretty sure he brought something else with him too. Do you remember what it was? I bet it was our reward.
No, we were not so lucky. It was a set of lockpicks that we had used to sneak into someone's house. That's why we were arrested.
Did someone come out to investigate all the commotion?
It was Mycroft. He smoothed things over and convinced the policeman not to press charges. The officer left and never returned. But we had to endure a serious talking to from my brother. Mycroft wasn't happy about the fact that we were arrested. It felt like he lectured us for hours.
Did we give him something afterwards, Sherry?
Oh, yes. Yes, now I remember. It was a letter. That's why we snuck into the house. Mycroft asked us to. He wasn't angry we stole, but that we got caught.
Oh, that's right. It must have been only a couple of months after we moved to Cordona. Ugh, the good old days. Whoa.
How very odd it appears that memory stood between me and the manor. It's as if my mind palace had seeped into the real world. This deserves further investigation. Perhaps there's more to discover inside.
As long as there is a comfortable place to put my feet up, I'll be happy. Maybe a chaise longue.
Aha! In we go.
Okay, so finally we entered the Stonewood
Home
Manor.
sweet home, Sherry.
That's right, John. Now what do we have here?
Hey, this is the luggage we brought from London, isn't it?
News of Violet's death, 10 April 1869. Tragedy at Stonewood Manor. Mrs. Violet Holmes, widow of Seager Morland Holmes, died unexpectedly in her home yesterday, April 9th, 1869. She is survived by her two sons, aged 20 and 10, though it is unclear if they will remain in Stonewood Manor. Mrs. Holmes purchased the property only a year ago. Despite her feeble constitution of body, so ravaged by consumption, Mrs. Holmes was quickly welcomed into the Cordona's elite. In her high vocation, she had, in addition to the deep intuitions of a gifted woman, the strength of a man, the conscientiousness, forgive me, I can't read that long word, of a saint, and the wit of a satirist, a specialist in ancient objects. She became the authority on authenticity. Police conducted an investigation upon arrival at the manor, but have not released further details. The cause of her death is unknown. Okay.
Something did happen that day, but no one can tell us the details. How can that be?
Agreed. It's rather suspicious.
Auction notification. We have been instructed that a public auction will take place on 20th July at Stonewood Manor. All lots have been selected from the finest pieces of property owned by the Holmes family and have been evaluated by experts. Their authenticity is confirmed.
And I was wondering why it's so empty in here.
There may be a small chance that some of our property could be found among local traders' wares. It is worth a look, wouldn't you say?
Find furniture traders across the island to acquire items for your manor. Their stock updates frequently, so keep an eye on the map for notification of new deliveries.
One of the first things I saw when entering this house as a child. It's like déjà vu. I remember how angry Mycroft was about these marks. He called it a frivolous, childish endeavor.
Okay. there anything left?
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
I heard footsteps upstairs a second ago. Wait, do we have an attic here?
I think our family portrait used to hang here. Mycroft's umbrella, the only outgoing thing in his wardrobe.
Another memory incoming, Sherry.
Strange, I struggle to recall anything about the day we moved in. The only detail I'm sure of is that it was raining early that morning.
We've read it. Memories. Readers. Okay.
There was always a hat on our stand, but I'm sure it did not belong to Mycroft. Our mother brought a slew of belongings with her. She refused to leave a single thing in London. Mycroft had to spend the whole day dealing with it. This trip was a challenge for our mother. I tried to help her.
Do you feel it? Is it the air shimmering, or is it my imagination?
Okay. Yes.
Your neighbors will be told that Mrs. Holmes is suffering from tuberculosis. It is common to move closer to the sea in such cases.
Thank you, Dr. Richter. No, Sherlock, step away from her. Upstairs. Go to your room.
Lean on me, Mother. Take your time.
Actually, I never heard her coughing. I remember now.
So arriving at Cordona, we arrived in the early morning of a rainy day. Sherry's mother was weak and unsteady, so he tried to help her. Mycroft was very serious while dealing with luggage. When he saw Sherlock trying to help his mother up, he commanded him to go upstairs to our room. The last person to arrive was the doctor, Otto Richter, who said that the neighbors will believe that Violet has tuberculosis. Sherry just realized that he never heard her coughing.
Oh, I feel dizzy. It's stuffy in here, isn't it?
John, are you all right?
I'll be okay in a minute. How about we find our room in the meantime?
Upstairs.
Look at this. It's like travelling 10 years into the past with a single step. Oddly satisfying.
Coal dust from Miner's End, sandy dirt from the old city. We scoured the island top to bottom for these soil samples.
Okay.
The first chemical laboratory I ever made. I almost miss its elegant simplicity. Look at this, John. Remember how desperately I wanted to learn the violin? I never had a proper opportunity.
Such a shame. I always hated the rule about being silent in this place.
A magnificent tool made for a spurious purpose, staring into the sky. I've definitely found a better use for it.
You mean for spying on people?
Yep.
I cannot believe all my toys are still here.
Hey, they were not just yours, they were half mine too.
An artifact from Palau carved out of bone and claimed to be 300 years old. My mother proved it was a fake. My very favourite plaything. It was the perfect pirate treasure.
Oh, it reminds me of our neighbour. He had the same balloon in his yard, only bigger. Do you remember?
Yes, we visited him several times while living here. Need to repeat this one day, but with bullets.
VR. V for Violet and R for... I don't know.
Oh, these must be the notes of my earliest observations. We wanted to locate a particular dog we'd spotted, and we met it, didn't we? Oh, these must be the notes of my earliest observations. We wanted to locate a particular dog we'd spotted, and we met it, didn't we? I'll never forget how challenging it was to obtain this simple sketch. The only fiction book on my table. I can still hear my mother reading it to me.
Mother's love.
So many pleasant evenings were spent here with the Encyclopedia Americana. Interesting. What's that over there? This doorknob has a cross-shaped N. Too intricate to be merely a handle.
You know what? That definitely looks like a key. Let's poke around and see if we can find any secrets. This time I was first to pick beds. This one's mine now.
Yep. Take rest, John.
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
Mind Palace. Mycroft hid the truth about the death of her mother and lied when he told me that she died of tuberculosis. I see. Okay. While there are no records about my mother's death, we had a family friend on Cordona. He may know something. So there are no records about my mother's death, but I do recall an old family friend we had here in Cordona. An eccentric man named Theoder Gilden. He was missing the little finger on his right hand, and if he still lives here, he may be able to shed some light on her passing. He used to live in one of the neighboring houses near the Greek bridge, and he had a gas balloon in his yard.
Wasn't that neighbour missing a finger?
That does sound vaguely familiar. Wasn't his name, Theodore Gilden, perhaps?
It's the perfect time to investigate.
Let's go, John. I think I found him. That's the gas balloon.
What's up?
That wretch Goliath would murder us all. Mark my words.
Oh. The music changes. Oh my god.
Oof, a contortionist you were not. Disjointed vertebrae. Difficult to say if it was a way to start or finish him off. A belt from a dressing gown. Curious. A kneecap reduced to splinters. A missing pinky, middle-aged. It's none other than Theodore Gilden.
Oh,
Boy, Sherlock.
he's dead.
Another death means another question.
And we shall answer the question. It's far too interesting to give it up to the police. Didn't we get to fly in it as children? I doubt it could hold my weight today. An amount of attention that most can only dream of.
Poke the elephant with this? Really? People are hopeless.
A strong pull broke this leash. A pool of blood and saliva, possibly as a result of impact.
Sherlock, take a picture of the footprint. It's valuable evidence.
Okay.
This photograph can help us find the old article about the elephants. The front page was fascinating. It was hard to believe as a child.
True. We may need it in our investigation.
This is quite comfy.
A royal suite for a favourite pet.
Plenty of food to satisfy even the most fastidious.
You cannot enter. Goliath may have killed Theodore. The elephant Goliath may have attacked Theoder Gilden in order to break free.
A coal gas tank, enough to pump up an airship.
Oh.
A sailor's knife useful for cutting wet and thick ropes. It's seen a lot of use. The blade is worn from grinding. Fresh signs of impact. A rough landing led to an altercation with this shed.
Here we go for another one.
In a fit of rage, the elephant broke the chain and threw its victim on the ground with a fierce power. Escaping the scene, it pulled the body with it, but dropped it at the gate. At least some of this was witnessed by a third party who was hurled against the shed. The elephant can't have gone too far. I can still track it.
Well, suppose you find it. Then what? Push it all the way back to the manor? He was certainly under pressure.
Destruction and trampled ground. Destruction and trampled ground. As if they were struck by a battering ram.
I wonder how we managed not to hear any of this. How do you do?
Can I ask you a question?
Excuse me, what? I'm not sure I know.
Do you know anything about this?
That's a question I can answer.
An elephant named Goliath crossed the Greek bridge in the direction of the forest where Theodore used to walk.
Who's it?
The elephant barged into this cart of olive oil.
What if we're lucky and he slipped and fell somewhere along the way? Okay, hear me out. If an elephant falls in the forest and there's no one around to...
John, no.
Oh, you're such a killjoy.
I think he has gone deep into the forest.
Strange. It was hung with care. The game has escaped us, for now. We'll find a solution to the elephant problem later.
Ink-stained letter. Dear Theodore, I am writing to you as a fellow islander. I value our friendship just as I value the lives of our people. Although I am afraid this one-sided friendship cannot tie my hands any longer. I am being made to look weak in the eyes of our neighbors. They believe that your tree is a mockery and not a peace offering as you intended. The people are afraid you refuse to give your elephant a proper trainer, instead using your own limited knowledge to teach it. It is impossible situation. I admit that I did think of having the elephant forcibly taken and given to Mr. Tailhurt, who has shown that he is quite capable of looking after the elephant bean. Although she is female and far less frightening than your beast, please consider the situation. Sir William Sinclair, Governor of Cordona.
Why do I get the worst jobs?
I can always recognize the spirit of a true artist. This young lady has a childish interest for her age.
You. Who are you?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. Theoder Gilden was...
Did you kill him? Did you kill the elephant?
It's not in the yard anymore. It escaped into the forest.
You can't let it go. What if it returns?
I highly doubt that, Miss...
Imogen Gilden. Please, I beg of you, find that dreadful beast that killed my father.
I suppose we do need to learn what happened. Can you tell me what happened? From the very start.
I was here, so I didn't see how it began. My father visits the enclosure every morning to wake up Goliath. Today, I heard the elephant scream. I've never heard such a horrifying sound. My heart stopped. I knew something was wrong. I looked through my window and saw how it lifted my father up by his neck. I rushed downstairs. I saw it dragging my father as if he were a doll. I threw stones at it. It dropped my father's body and charged outside, screaming. Its roar was almost human. I was frightened, so I ran inside and hid here.
I'm sorry for your loss.
That is a terrifying experience, Miss Gilden. I'm sorry you had to go through it.
Thank you. Goliath must be caught, Mr. Holmes.
Well, thank you for the information, Miss Gilden. I did have some questions for your father. Perhaps you might help me with them?
I wasn't privy to much of my father's life, and it's very hard to think of anything at all with Goliath still loose. Please, Mr. Holmes.
Very well. Do you mind if I ask you more questions if I find anything that might help?
Anything to catch that monster. I've nothing to say about this.
Okay.
Had Goliath been aggressive before?
It's dangerous, but it was never aggressive near my father. My father would do anything for Goliath. All the elephant had to do was clap its ears.
You envied him, the elephant, I mean?
Our house is called the House of Ivory. I've heard some people refer to me as the Ivory Girl, and my room stinks of the animal, as if it's me who lives in a pen and not Goliath. It's not envy, Mr. Holmes. It's just incredibly difficult to live like this.
Did you observe anyone else in the yard? Any of your servants, perhaps?
Servants? Do you imagine that we would have any with Goliath? No one wishes to work in this house, even for double pay. I didn't see anyone else. Only my father and that diabolical beast.
Okay.
Miss Gilden, I was on this island 10 years ago, and your father knew my mother. I believe I even had the opportunity to ride that balloon outside, but I do not recall seeing you.
I lived at my late mother's in Sheffield at the time. I'm in no spirit to reminisce right now. The elephant is out there.
You've never heard the name Violet Holmes before? Perhaps your father...
Please, Mr. Holmes. With that beast roaming free, I can't think of anything.
Very well.
So Imogen's testimony. Imogen described how the elephant killed Theoder Gilden. She heard Goliath screaming from her window. She could only see the animal lifting the body of her father. She rushed downstairs and saw the animal dragging him around. That must be frightful. She threw stones at it, and the animal escaped after letting out a horrific, almost human scream. She ran back inside and hid in her room. She is shaken but willing to provide more answers if we find anything else. So what now?
A commendable effort to barricade the windows. She packed as much as she could carry. False idols? Oh, sounds utterly dreary. The same dull poses on all romantic photographs. So idyllic. Enjoy your happily ever after before it stales.
Hey, Sherry, we need to talk. You found false idols. We need to find the remaining two.
What does bazooka even mean? Would this paper be good for anything but blowing one's nose on?
They're not rubbish, Sherry. There's something more. I'm serious.
Very well. I doubt it'll be worth it, but I will find them for you, John.
You'll thank me later. They're some of the most imaginative books I've ever read.
What did you say?
Speaking aloud helps me think.
John has requested we locate the entire Bazookiology trilogy by Wallace D. Oram. I found the first book in Imogen's room. The humiliation of the written word is unfathomably rather popular. I suppose I can at least attempt to understand why.
I found this. Who's this young lad next to you, your faithful knight?
Paul. He's my pirate. He's not really a pirate. I just call him that. It probably sounds very silly.
Your secret is safe in my hands. Does Paul work somewhere? What is his surname?
His name is Paul Perks. He and his yacht Whirlpool are the champions of the Salacia Yacht Club. He sails there. I'll show you where it is on the map if you need to meet him.
A yachting champion? Oh, that will be a first. I prefer dry land. And so does my suit. These bags of yours, it looks as if you've packed your entire room. Were you planning on going somewhere?
My partner and I, we wanted a change, a fresh start abroad. But now I have to stay here. Here, an orphan.
Okay.
How can you read something like this? It's hard to swallow, and that's not due to the hard cover.
You're hardly serious. Any library without Nabe and Laura is incomplete. If you can read, then these books are an absolute must. Love and adventure. They're about life.
Oh, I wasn't aware that exploding pyramids were a part of daily life on Cordona.
You haven't seen life, so you might try reading about it at least.
Okay. Paul Parks is a professional yachtsman who sails the Whirlpool at Silesia Yacht Club in southern Grand Surrey. Imogen told me she had plans to live with her, but they wanted to start a new life abroad. Okay. So now we had to meet this Paul Parks. Let me see the map. He is here. Silesia Yacht Club. We will do this in the next part, guys. That's all from fourth part of Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. In this channel, you will watch and enjoy latest games walkthrough in the hardest difficulty available part by part till the end. We need your support, guys. Please do like, subscribe and share the video. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We would love to hear from you guys and wholeheartedly appreciate your valuable feedback. Dyutam Joy from Dauntless Dyutams signing out. See you in next part. Till then, take care and stay alert like Sherlocks.